folks that act when the market's right are able to get in at a good price, get in at a good rate, and that impacts that cash flow that you have left over at the end of the month.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, to rent a home, it's just throwing money away. Why would you want to make your landlord rich? I mean, I don't get that. You know, it's just like our oldest son. He bought his first house when he was 21. And he came in and talked to Mark and I, and he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about moving out." He said, "I'm going to rent an apartment." I said, "Hold on just a minute. Let's talk about this." Oh, yeah, him and a couple buddies, they were going to get him an apartment. I said, "Why on earth would you rent when you can buy a home that you will own?" Now, this is great. He sat down, listened to us. So we immediately sat down, did a budget with him, and we were very lean on the budget. I mean, we didn't count any of his overtime, any of his Army pay or anything. We were very conservative on the budget in terms of his pay. And then we counted off everything, entertainment, dating with a girlfriend. And we saw that he could easily afford to buy a house. Now, listen to what he did. We found him the perfect home. It had new roof, new windows, new heat and air, had been totally remodeled. He got this house for a lot less than what he could have rented for. And listen what he did, Ben. He rented a room. It was a 3-bedroom home. He rented 2 of the rooms to buddies. And guess what? They paid his mortgage for him. They paid his mortgage
Free
for
rent.
him. I'm telling you.
Free investment.
And he's so happy. Now he's engaged. He's getting married in June. So he's having to kick his buddies out in May. But he's so happy. I mean, he already has a home. He's getting married. I mean, it's perfect.
And he's got equity, right?
Absolutely has equity. He bought it right. He got a good rate. And his buddies have been paying his mortgage. I mean, who does not want to do that?
Now he's got to kick those buddies out there, right?
Yeah, but this is something he does. He does. But anyway, hopefully they're ready to buy. We're hoping we can sell them a home.
I hope he's listening right now.
Well, I'm telling you, parents need to listen to this. I mean, if your kids are thinking about moving out and renting, sit them down, do a budget with them. Talk to them about building equity and not making their landlord rich.
It's good risk. I mean, think about it. You're going to pay rent if you don't buy. Hey, folks, we have a question right now, so we're gonna go ahead and take it. Let's put this on speakerphone right now. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I was calling to try to find out what's the best course of action to do when I'm first trying to buy a home. I'll be a first-time home buyer. I've never purchased a home before, and I don't have very much for a down payment. And I was trying to get something for me and my family.
Well, I tell you what you didn't do first, and then we'll let Ben take over. The first thing you need to do is call Sabrena Realty Associates and Ben Phillips with HomeRate Mortgage. Right, Ben?
That's right. And Sabrina's number is 499-7780. Now, we really appreciate your call. And that's, when you're going into a journey of buying a home, the most important thing is that you protect those actions that you're going to make. So you've got to put some time, some effort, and some energy, and you have to get around the right mentors. And Sabrena here, standing next to me, has been in the real estate business for how long now?
12 years.
12 years. Now, I think that by all accounts, if you've been doing something for 12 years, you get real estate agent of the year just a couple years ago. That's sort of a sign that you're able to help clients in a successful way. So that's the first step. Now, on my side, the money part is the very difficult conversation. And you just said that you really didn't have money for a down payment. And isn't that one of the things, Sabrena, that really keeps people from just making the call to you?
Absolutely. So many times we hear, well, I'm not ready to buy a home. I don't know what my credit score is, and I don't have any money saved. And they don't realize, and right now, especially, a lot of people are getting a tax return. They're getting a refund. That's money that you can use to put down on a home. But there's also, as you know, Ben, this is your expertise. There's many loans out there that require either zero or very little down.
Especially a first-time home buyer, Sabrena, like this caller just said. And
yeah,
I'll tell you, the most important thing is to recognize, and this is for you, caller, to recognize that by not taking action in learning to see what the lines are, to see where you are, to get that analysis from someone like Sabrena and someone like me on the mortgage side, is actually taking action, but I call it inaction. Yeah. And to not take action in this market where folks are paying $1,100 rent every month, You could buy $150,000 home and be paying $900 to $1,000 a month. You could be pocketing $100 to $200 a month.
Absolutely.
And gaining a fortune on the other side. In fact, it is a fortune, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You know, you said something so important and that's key. You use the word partner. And what you got to do is you got to find that right agent and you got to find that right lender, because they're going to walk you through the process.
Well, that caller has certainly found the right two. So how does he get started? What is the first thing he needs to do moving forward?
Let me ask you this, caller. You're still on the line, right?
Yes, I am.
How much down payment do you have?
Well, right now, I think I've got about $1,000 that I can spare. So bills I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. So I was hoping I could get into something without any down payment. I've heard about loans that are USDA or something like that. Yep. I'm not familiar with those.
Okay, so let me ask you this: are you a member of the veteran of our military?
I am not.
Okay, so that gets us down to several loans that you qualify for. One is a grant loan that is provided to you so that you actually need $0 to close that loan. So that $1,000 you have is qualifiable. So you can go buy a house right now. Does that sound good so far?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so there are several programs. We have the USDA, like you mentioned. It's 100% financing. So we've actually had closings with USDA where the client actually gets a few $100s back at the closing table. That's
wow.
Yeah, well, that's going to help buy that piece of furniture, that new, that new bedroom suite. Put a down payment on that. But folks, there is an opportunity to get 100% financing for this caller, but someone else might have a little bit larger of a down payment and does not want to have, wants to get that lowest interest rate possible. And we have products for everyone all around the spectrum. So I think the important thing is, like Sabrena says, give her a call. Well, it starts with that call.
Let me tell you something, caller. You call me up. You're that first-time home buyer. I'm going to have you come into my office, and I'm going to sit down and look you eye to eye, because I'm going to take the time with you, because I want you to understand this process from the beginning to the end. And I understand you may have questions. I want you to be able to ask those questions. But one of the first things I'm going to do is send you to the right lender, which would be Ben Phillips with HomeRate Mortgage, and we're going to get you pre-qualified. We're going to first of all find out what kind of price range we're looking in. We don't need to be out there looking at homes for $200,000 if it's going to work better for your budget to purchase something in the $120,000 price range. So we're going to establish that. We're going to establish what type of loan that you qualify for, because we need to know what your closing costs are going to be and that kind of stuff. And for someone that doesn't have a lot of cash, we're going to be looking for a home in which we can ask that seller to pay your closing costs, because you don't have that money to put out of pocket. And so we're going to walk through this entire process, get you with the right lender. And then once you're pre-qualified, we're going to start that search. And I'm going to email you properties. We're going to get a list, and we're going to schedule, and we're going to go look at those homes. Now, once we find that home, it's so important. This is where you use the word partner. You've got to partner with the right people, because finding that home is the easy part.
Right.
It's writing that offer, negotiating the terms of that contract, because I always want my clients to feel like the winner. Whether it's a seller or a buyer, we always want to feel like we're on the winning side.
We're all judged for being, winners or losers in life a lot of times by especially our clients. And what a great segue, because at the end of the day, partnering up with the right person. I just came across a review that just happened, and it says HomeRate Mortgage deserves a 5-star rating because of this, their passion.
Yeah.
I know that whoever wrote that review was satisfied with the results. But, caller, as you're going through the home buying process, you've got a lot of choices out there. You could call a number of banks. Every corner, there's a bank.
Yep.
And what I've found that's helped our business and helped Sabrena's business get so successful, in my opinion, is exactly what this review on Google stated that's helped us have such a high rating, and that's passion.
Yep.
The results come from passion. And when I'm meeting with you face to face, just like Sabrina's saying, we show that we care. We listen to you. We take it one step at a time. You say, we're going to find out what your concerns are, and then we're going to educate you.
And we want it to be a pleasurable experience for you. We want you to be excited. And so we're going to deal with any of those caveats or any little bumps in the road. we're going to take that stress off of you. We're going to deal with it. If there's any problems, we're going to solve them. And we're going to make this a very pleasurable experience for you. And that's why you've got to work with passionate people. Absolutely. People and people that are determined, people that know where to get you, people that have contact to the right home inspectors. You probably are referring them to the right insurance agent. That's people that are going to take care of the entire process and walk you through it from the beginning to the end. Because we want you to call us, hey, this is going to be your first home, right, caller? Well, in 5 to 10 years, you may want to sell that home. And guess what? We want you not to hesitate to pick up that phone and call us again. It's all about repeat business and establishing those long-term relationships.
Speaking of relationships, I want to go ahead and clear in a question that a lot of folks might have right now about that. We're not interested in selling you into a home, selling you into a mortgage. Right. We're interested in helping you succeed. If the time is not now, then we are more than excited to say the time is right, is not now. Because what that does for us is it establishes us as the experts in our industry. We're only that because we give people the accurate information. If, sir, maybe your debt to income ratio, which is sort of your monthly expenses versus your income coming in, maybe it's a little bit out of line. We can tell you about that and say, look, you can't buy a home right now. And I think it's just important to let everyone know that we work for free all the time, and we're thankful for that. Because just like in the Bible, it says, you plant those seeds and you water them and you watch them grow and you pray over them. And guess what happens? You will reap a good harvest.
Absolutely. And our philosophy is to treat everyone like family. If I sit down with you, I'm going to give you the same advice I would give my brother, who I like, by the way, my brother, my mom. The closest person in my life. I'm going to treat everybody the same. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you're spending $100,000 or $500,000. You're going to get the same treatment, which is going to be exceptional service.
Absolutely. And hey, caller, we really appreciate your call today. And if you don't mind, take down our number and our website. And you can always find us on Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook. Just search for that. But my number is area code 423-805-9100. Give me a call, apply, ask for me, tell them that that I'm expecting your call, and we do appreciate your business.
And call 499-7780 for Sabrena Realty. And for anyone out there that has a question pertaining to anything real estate, a loan, the process, call us. We're taking calls. You can reach us here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240 at 423-800-8949. That's 800-8949. We have another call.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Good morning. Good morning, caller. Hello.
Are you there?
Hello. Yes, I have a question about a home that I'm thinking about buying.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm actually in the process of doing some remodeling in my home, and I'm trying to consider the consequences or weighing in on whether or not I should spend a lot of money on, rebuilding my present deck if I'm thinking about selling my home, or is that, really not the thing I should do if I'm thinking about selling my home, because I'm not sure I can get the money out of it once I put the money into it from the estimates that I'm getting.
Great question.
Kind of high.
Mm-hmm. Great question. And I'll tell you this, we use a very conservative approach when we make recommendations as to what you should do to your home.
There's an old saying, the quickest way to raise the value of your home by 10 grand is to put 30,000 into your kitchen. So you've got to really be careful where you spend and what it is you do.
You really do. And let me tell you,
sounds negative to me.
Let me tell you, caller, I would call Sabrena Realty Associates, have one of our agents come out and look at your home, because the best thing, we offer a free consultation. We'll be glad to do a market analysis, come out and talk about the appropriate price. But while we're doing that, we'll walk through room by room and make recommendations. What I have found is you have to be very conservative. You have to use a conservative approach when you're making recommendations to sellers as to what they should spend money on and not spend money on. We even have a 3-page document that we bring out. And it's cost-effective ways to improve your curb appeal, and it's inside and out. We'll be glad to share all those tips with you. But let me tell you, you've got to be very cautious about spending a lot of money on your home, because as you've already indicated, you will not get that money back. You will not get it back dollar per dollar. And I can tell you some horror stories.
Well, none of us are the same, you know? So when you invest in that last second draw attempts to get more people to like your home, you're literally going ahead and, you know, investing monies, like you said, that are not necessarily going to pay you back.
It's amazing what fresh paint and that kind of stuff that we'll do. And sometimes just rearranging, staging the home a little bit better, rearranging, decluttering. Those things really make a floor plan look open.
A fresh coat of paint goes a long way.
Absolutely. But I mean, as far as
what's negative about your home right now? Because you mentioned something about buying a home at the beginning, so maybe remodeling to sell, I imagine. What's is your house too big? Is it too small? Are you trying to downsize?
Actually, well, the house is really probably too big for just me and my husband at this point in our life, because we're middle-aged and we're looking at retiring in hopefully 5 years.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about downsizing if we could sell our home, and we know that so many people would be probably interested in our home that have children, because we have a huge backyard.
Yeah.
And the deck is okay, but the deck is weathered and the deck is worn. You know, it just needs some work.
Well, you may be able to pressure wash it and restain it or paint it or do something like that.
Really make it pop.
Something that's not going to cost you a lot of money. I'm just going to tell you, you're not going to get your money back if you go spending a lot of money. And if you're thinking about selling, I would really recommend that you not spend a lot of money because, there's so many cost-effective things you can do. And here's the other thing. You're trying to figure out that buyer's taste, and you have no idea. And sometimes it's better to price your home competitively, get it sold, and let that buyer come in there and do those updates. And if you've got it priced right, they'll be able they'll be able to see that this is something they can buy at a reasonable price, put their own taste in, spend a little money, and they're going to have a good investment. But in terms of you spending your money, if you're thinking about selling, unless it is just really that something that has to be done, I would caution you not to do it.
Well, thanks for your call, caller. I've got one quick question for you before we get off.
That was very, very good advice, and I feel much better having called you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
all have a great day.
Thanks so much. Take care. You know, I was just going to say to the caller, as you know, she's probably bought and sold a handful of homes in her life.
Yeah.
And folks listening out there, Sabrena has helped assist in selling and buying hundreds of homes in the past 12 years. So you get an idea of experience. You always want to start with the realtor and give them a call, because they're going to be your best advisor throughout the process in saving money. Let's take another call.
Good morning, caller. How are you today? Hello.
Good, how are you?
Doing great. How can we help you today?
I was trying to reach Cheryl or Rocky.
You actually have the wrong number. Sorry about that. Well, hey, there's always
Rocky. I don't.
Is that Rocky Balboa?
You know what? That's a good segue.
Hey, we can rise to the occasion.
We're moving into our sports section. We're a little bit early. Yeah, I lived in Chicago for a few years in my adolescent life. Since we just brought sports in about 20 minutes early. We only have a few minutes left, so I'll go ahead and segue here.
You should see Ben's hat. I
have been a Cubs fan, folks, since, let's see here, 1984, when Steve Garvey ruined my life as a little 5-6-year-old wanting to see the Cubs go to the World Championships. So here I am. Cubs are in first place this year. And hey, if the Braves, when they're in town, when the Cubs are in town, I will be there. And I cannot wait till that new stadium, because then that when it gets here, it'll be closer, right?
Absolutely.
And then we can really enjoy some more Cubs games. Go Cubs! Hey, I'm still a Chattanooga born and raised guy, but it's all right to like some other sports teams. Go Cubs!
Well, speaking of sports, we've got a community open house this Sunday in a golf community for all you golfers. Windstone, we're going to have a community open house with several realtors. I think there's 7 or 8 of us participating Sunday from 2 to 4 in Windstone. Lovely community, beautiful, gated golf community, beautiful, pristine setting with ponds. This home is my particular listing is located at 128 Windsor Lane. This home is listed at $345,000. It's nestled in a very private cul-de-sac. Beautiful yard, backs up to trees and woods, which is very rare in Windstone subdivision. So it's very secluded. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,600 square feet.
Wow.
That's a monster.
Fully updated. This home is unbelievable.
Hold on a second. If I wanted to build a home right now, Sabrena,
you couldn't build it for that.
It would cost about $125 per square foot, right?
$125 to $150.
Okay, so if this is 4,600 square feet, that means
$600,000 easy.
Yeah, somewhere between $550, $650.
Yeah.
So you can buy a home for a huge discount price. I mean, heck, I think we've become Kmart.
$345,000. I'm telling you, pre-existing, you can't beat the prices that are out there.
That's
right
like
now.
$80 a square foot.
But for anyone looking, this is an opportunity to come see a bunch of homes at one time. That'll be this Sunday from 2 to 4. And of course, we'll have information of how they can get pre-qualified by calling HomeRate Mortgage at 805-9100 or Sabrena Realty 499-7780.
Yes, absolutely. Give us a call. Hey, you know what?
We're taking calls. Give them the number, Ben.
Yeah, the phone number right now is 800-8949. We are here because of you, so we need your calls. We need your engagement, and we couldn't be here without you. So we really appreciate you all listening out there. Hot News Talk Radio, and I tell you, we are excited about how many phone calls we just got.
Exactly.
So we will see you on the next half hour.
We had some really good questions, so we hope everybody else will continue to call us in.
Again, that number is 800-8949. Join us back here in just a few minutes on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Yeah, don't go anywhere because we're staying here.
Welcome back to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, the Sabrena and Ben Hour, where we talk all things real estate, home loans, mortgages, you name it. We'll even talk politics.
Heck, we'll even talk wrong number. Sports, whatever you want to talk about.
That guy was looking for Rocky.
That's right.
I love Rocky.
Rocky Balboa, baby.
I'm telling you, I've seen all the movies numerous times. Numerous times.
Which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite?
Probably Mr. T. The Rocky 3.
Number 3.
Probably so. We've got a call coming in.
All right, let's take it.
Hello, caller.
Go ahead, caller. What's your question?
I was listening to you on the radio, and I'm watching you on YouTube now. Here's this may sound like a crazy question. I'm looking for a house. I'm so frustrated in having 3 girls, teenage girls. I wanted a safe place, and I want a safe place where they can ride their bikes and scooters and so on and so forth. And for the life of me, I don't know why real estate agents can't talk about the age of people in. Is it some law? How many kids are here? Well, what's the earnings, income in the area? How safe is it? So on and so forth. It just seemed very tight-lipped. And I've dealt with 3 separate real estate agents. When I talk about, I guess you can call it the demographics of the area.
Oh yeah.
How many kids are here to play with? How old are the people here? I want to know the area I'm moving into.
I understand. Well, there are fair housing laws that prohibit us from discussing certain makeups of neighborhoods. And, that's probably got several realtors apprehensive of discussing it. But there's all kinds of information out there. And what you got to do is get with the right realtor that will guide you in the right direction to get any of that information. For one thing, here's just an example. As far as crime goes, you can get that's public information. Nothing wrong with asking about the crime. We can get you in with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department or the Chattanooga Police Department, depending on what area of town it's in, whether it's in the city limits or the unincorporated. You can get that information. It's not hard to find, and a good realtor should be able to provide those numbers for you and help you get that information. Sometimes it's just guiding you in the right direction. Another thing, for example, and here's what I tell a lot of people. If we're in a neighborhood, I recommend if they see a neighbor out in the yard mowing, or, knock on a neighbor's door and just say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a home in this neighborhood. It's amazing what you can find out just from a neighbor. And also, if it's a neighborhood with an established homeowners association, a good realtor should be able to get you that contact information where you can call the president of that homeowners association and ask them
What is your
anything
phone
you
number?
want.
I want to call you guys.
Pardon me?
What is your phone number?
It's 499-7780. Just call and ask for Sabrena. I'll be glad to help you with that.
I wish you real estate agents would all get together, your association, and sue the federal government, because that's a violation of your First Amendment right of speech. You should be able to talk about anything you want to talk about. And by them trying to tell you can't, just hinders individuals trying to find out where they need to live.
Well, let me tell you something. They're serious. And I understand your frustration, and you make some great valid points. But I'll tell you something, the fair housing laws, they are serious about that. They fine you.
Oh, you know what? I guess you give up your First Amendment to become a real estate agent then. And I don't believe you do. It's just they need to be kicked in the teeth.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Good show.
Thank you very much, caller.
Hey, listen, and call me. That was great. That was a great question. If you'll call me, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, yeah, absolutely. Get your phone number to that caller.
Yeah, it's 499-7780. Just call and ask for Sabrena, because we'll be glad to help you get any of those answers. You can ask me anything. And here's the thing. If it's something I don't have the information readily at my hand, I'll get you where you need to go. And you'll get
the information. The information's out there.
Yep.
So we definitely will talk offline. But, let's face it. This caller wants his 3 daughters to ride their scooters.
I don't blame him.
He wants them to ride their scooters and feel safe about it. When he's looking for a home, he wants that information up front. He's investing his time. He's investing his resources. He's investing part of his life, and he's concerned about safety. Now, you tell me, is safety something that we're talking about on all the news channels right now? I mean, we talk about building a wall. We talk about keeping new immigrants out of the country.
Right.
All of this is very important to each and every one of us, our safety.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids, it's the basic premise of life is to have a family and protect that family. So this caller has a great, he's got passion, right?
Yeah. And right. And he needs to work with someone passionate.
That's it.
He needs to work with someone he's understandably
addressing
frustrated.
those needs.
He's understandably frustrated. He needs someone that's going to sit down with him, take the time, and get the answers to his questions. Even if we can't say what the answer is, we're going to get him to the person that can answer his questions. And it almost sounds like he needs to come to our community open house.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the girls could be riding their scooters on the sidewalk around the golf course.
It's a gated community.
Gated?
And lots of teenagers in this neighborhood.
There's a security guard that stands there at the front gate.
Absolutely. Zoned for the best schools. That's something else he's probably concerned about. And, we constantly have families with kids. They want to know about the schools. They want you to be honest. They want to know, is this a good school system? What are the best schools?
Right.
And so, we have to get them that information. We do as professionals. We have to. Even if we can't say, hey, here's the makeup of this neighborhood. Hey, this neighborhood has a very well-established homeowners association. Let me get you the name of the president, their phone number, and you can call them and ask them anything you want about the neighborhood.
And passion really is in results. And that's why, hey, we want to hear some more callers here shortly. We're on Hot News Talk Radio, and that is 1240 a.m. And I'll tell you, call this number if you have a question right now, 423-800-8949. We love questions just like this passionate guy. And we've got a lot of topics. I don't think we're going to get through them all, are we?
And he's frustrated. He's gone through, I would normally say 3rd would be a charm, but he's already gone through 3. So 4 will have to be a charm for him, right?
4 times the charm sometimes, right?
But people, and here's the thing. In our industry, it's so much more than selling a home. Is it not? Or doing a mortgage. This is probably an individual's greatest investment ever.
It is. There's no doubt about it.
And like you said, that word passion, they want someone that's really going to take it as serious as they're taking it. And we're going to do that. And we're going to, like I said earlier, we're going to walk them through from the beginning to the end. We want them in 5 years, 10 years, when his daughters grow up, this caller that just called in and they're buying a home, we want him to say, hey, call Sabrena Realty. Hey, call Ben Phillips with HomeRate Mortgage. That's the kind of long-term relationships we want to establish with every one of our clients.
Yeah. If your greatest investment in life is that hedge of protection you want to put around your daughters and the safety, then you should start by making smart, small investments into the right realtor and in the right mortgage company. So give us a call. Our number at our office is 805-9100. That's 423-805-9100. And I've got to get used to saying that 423 because
Absolutely.
There's lots of area codes around here.
Yeah. And then, of course, Sabrena Realty is 423-499-7780. That's 423-499-7780. Our website, SabrenaRealty.com. You can go there, find a lot of information out about us and our company. Here comes another call, Ben. I was about to talk about something else, but we've got a call.
Caller, you are live on the air with Hot News Talk Radio, Sabrena and Ben. What can we do for you?
How are you? Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good.
We're
how
doing
are
awesome.
you?
I'm doing good. Just one question. What kind of improvements can I do to my home to increase the value of it?
Okay. What year was your home built?
2000.
2000. And currently, what type of flooring do you have throughout your house?
Carpet.
Okay, so you have carpet. Does it look pretty fresh or does it look worn?
Pretty worn.
Okay, well, some cost-effective things you can do. Flooring's a big issue. Paint, if you don't have a nice neutral paint, like a nice gray tone or a nice neutral, maybe tan throughout, paint. If your woodwork's painted, your baseboards and stuff, maybe putting a fresh coat of white on those. That will really brighten up any home. As far as flooring, if that carpet is worn, you're going to have to do one of two things. You're going to have to look at either replacing it or offering some kind of flooring allowance to that buyer. And it just depends on which route you want to go. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend doing a lot. I wouldn't be gutting a kitchen or a bathroom because you're going to find out that the cost of building materials, they're at an all-time high. And it's going to cost you so much to renovate those types of renovations, and you'll never get your money back. So you've really, really got to do those cost-effective updates.
Wallpaper's out, like we were saying. So I think that, if you have wallpaper, which you probably don't with a 2000 built home.
She might.
But it's really just time to recognize that the most important step you make before doing anything is asking the realtor so they can, if you called Sabrena, she would be able to ask you more questions offline and be able to know for sure what you should do. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help you.
First step is to call that real estate professional and have them come out and look, have someone experienced come out and look. It's going to take the time. They'll make those recommendations. But I caution you, do not spend a lot of money. And if anybody's telling you that is bad advice.
And once you make the decision to sell the home, you really need to emotionally disconnect from it.
Good point.
You've been there for years. There's a lot of memories, and you can take those memories with you, but you've got to get that home ready to show and to stand out when people come and see it.
Well said.
Yeah. And you got to watch having too many of those family portraits up. And here's the thing, because when someone comes to look at your home, that's taking the focus off of the floor plan and those amenities that your home offers that buyer. I have found that when you have too many things out, especially personal photos and stuff, people come in there and they get fixated on looking at the photo, wondering, hey, do I know these people?
They get distracted.
And they're not even looking at the floor plan. But there's so many cost-effective things you can do to get your home ready for the market, maximize that profit. You've just got to get with the right realtor that's going to really guide you in the right direction and using a conservative approach. I keep using that terminology, but it is so important. And I'm telling you, because we have real life stories of people that didn't listen to us. Another realtor came in. I can tell you about one house in particular, and Harry Rogers with my office. So they came back to us. He ended up listing the home, and we, in the end, did sell the home. But initially, they didn't go with our recommendations. They went with another realtor. The realtor had them pull everything out of their kitchen, spend $40,000.
Oh, man.
It was a terrible, unbelievable.
Folks, there's thousands of agents right here in our area. And I'm here to tell you right now, 10% of the agents do a great job. It's very important that we recognize that the ones that are actually selling homes day to day are the ones that really can help you. The ones with the success, the ones with the experience. And that's why Sabrena and I have started this show, because we want to get the information out.
Right.
In fact, speaking of being conservative, I guess it, to switch gears just a little bit, you had 6 reasons why not to buy a home.
Yes.
And, I think that's what we do. When we want to buy a home, we give ourselves every reason not to.
That's
we take that conservative approach of, well, I don't think that'll work out, or, payment's too high. We'll let Sabrena tell you.
These are assumptions, and I want to kind of address, there's 6 of them, and I kind of want to address each one and just elaborate a minute on them. But the first assumption that an individual may have when they think, I can't buy a home right now, they think I don't have enough money down, which we heard from our first caller.
We just debunked that, because you have 100% programs out there. You have grant money for first-time home buyers. You've got products that get rid of mortgage insurance altogether for just 3% down. You've even got the lowest rates in the last 35 years right now.
Absolutely.
I could go on and on forever, but the point is there is no better time to buy. And I am a broken record right now. Well, there is no better time to buy. There is no better time to buy.
That's right. You've got to take the first step and make the call. They've got to call you, because there are so many programs out there that are available, as we've said over and over and over, that require little or zero down. You've got to call and find out what your options are. And you're not going to always, we're not always going to have the benefit of this historically low rates.
That's correct.
And you've got to take advantage of it now, because we don't know when those rates are going to go up. The second assumption is, I can't afford a mortgage payment. Now, what's so funny is people think they can afford rent. You can afford rent versus a mortgage. Let's talk about that.
You can't afford not to have a mortgage payment. Right now, it's cheaper to buy a home per month than it is to rent. Now, I know folks often will say, yeah, but I want to be mobile. Well, what's more mobile than building up a nest egg of equity? What's more mobile than having a retirement plan that is working on just by paying your rent payments?
Absolutely.
What's more mobile than that?
Absolutely. Why are you working on your landlord's retirement plan?
That's right.
My goodness. And we talked about this earlier. For young people, be creative. Think outside the box a little bit. Buy you a home, rent a room. Help pay the mortgage.
Rent a closet if it's big enough. My goodness. Get some cash coming in.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I've heard that statement many times. And, in life, we make decisions, and we choose sometimes not to make decisions because of the risks that we consider. And, the purpose of our show is obviously to educate folks on home buying,
right?
Educate folks on the ability to get more out of your home. Educate folks on the financial aspects of obtaining housing. The one thing that time and time again that really keeps us up at night at the end of the day is really just getting folks to engage.
That's true.
It's really about engagement, and
taking that first step.
Just like the quote says, the fear of not learning, the fear of not educating yourself is sort of like a dog chasing his tail.
Sounds like a vicious cycle.
Because why think about it? Why talk about it? Why even listen to our show right now?
Right.
If home ownership, if those desires to make a step forward, to take action and make your life better, isn't that why we're all here? To make our lives better.
And that brings me to 2 more assumptions. People think I don't have good enough credit, or I don't have any credit history at all.
Okay, well, I can simply answer that.
A lot of times it's not as bad as they think, though, is it?
Help them, Ben.
Well, for many accounts, you need to have one account that's 24 months. But for standard financing across the board, if you have 2 accounts that have 12 months history, you're on the right track. So let's talk about accounts.
Right.
So if you're concerned, now you have the answer. The answer is just been given to you. 2 accounts with 12 months history. So question for you. Absolutely good history. So let's say you have a car loan, and let's say you have a Capital One credit card.
Yeah.
Okay. Great place to get a secured credit card for $100, and then boom, you're off to the races. You need 12 months of good history. All you need to do is keep that balance at 0 on that credit card, and that'll serve you as an on-time payment each month.
Yeah.
Now you're probably going to have a fee on it once a year of $29, but tell me something.
Yeah.
I just told you a few minutes ago that you can buy the same house that you rent and save a couple $100 a month. That's $2,400 a year.
Well, you got to have those trade lines to build credit. And here's what you could do with a credit card, right? They could charge their gas, pay it off at the end of the month, keep that balance low.
Pay it on time.
Showing that they're doing that, paying it on time, and consistency.
But the one misconception that I have to ensure that folks don't get wrong is that you're not supposed to have a high balance.
That's right.
In fact, I have a rule that's a little bit stricter than the rules I'm taught. And it serves me well. It serves my clients well. Whatever the limit is, if it's $500 a month or $5,000 a month, 10% rule.
Yeah.
We tithe 10% at church.
Yep.
Don't go over 10% on your credit cards.
Right.
So if you're over 10%, don't give up and fall down and just say, oh, it's over. What you need to do is you need to take one step forward towards that 10%. Maybe you owe 20%. Maybe you owe 50%. Take a step forward and get it down 2 clicks.
Start paying $5 or $10 extra a month on it till you get it down where it needs to be.
That's right. Buying a house isn't a marathon. I mean, it's certainly not a sprint, right?
No.
It is a marathon.
It's a process.
But having great credit, it's so important to your overall other things that have, still something to do with real estate, but to getting a job.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier about, once you're pre-approved for that loan, gosh, it's so important not to do anything that has any kind of impact on your credit until you close. So many people get excited and they think, and they go buy furniture. Don't do any of that till you close on the loan.
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
When you go buy a new bedroom suite, even though it's 0% for a year, there's still going to be a payment associated with that account. Well, that can increase your debt outflow each month, which in our budget analysis, which is what the underwriters are here for, that could decrease your chances of getting your clear to close and closing on that home. So you definitely want to engage your loan officer and your agent and just don't do anything. That's the best advice in the world.
Absolutely. Another assumption is I haven't been on my job long enough. Now, let's talk about that a minute. People do have to be on their job for a while, right? And they can change jobs, but as long as it's not a career change, that's okay, right? As long as they're working in the same industry or same field.
Sure. Well, even career changes are acceptable if there's a proper licensing or something that backs that up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, some education process.
Right.
But at the same time, the career change, a job change, it's perfectly fine. We close folks all the time that have gotten one pay stub from their new employer. In fact, we even close folks that have a promise, a contract. Hey, we are going to make this much money. So don't let that stop you. That's a complete misconception. I just debunked that. We close them every day, folks.
Absolutely. And then number 6, I can't find a home I like in my price range. Are you kidding? Well, they're out there now.
Well, you can't find one if you're doing it on your own.
But here's the thing. If you find it, you better act on it. You better have that pre-approval in place. They better have already spoken to you, Ben, and have that loan, the process in place and ready to go. Because what we're finding is there's not a lot of homes out there to choose from just because inventory's down right now.
Average time on the market is moved, 50%?
It's moved from 4.5 months to 2 months.
Yeah, so
unbelievable.
So it takes 2 months to sell a home right now, and trust me, that's a lag data point. So it's probably less than that right now. So when a home is listed and you find that home through your realtor, Sabrena is going to help you get that contract signed and sealed and you into that home.
It is so important.
And a lot of the information on, and we'll just say the real estate websites online, a number of those have incorrect and inaccurate information. So if you're searching yourself, you could end up spending a tremendous amount of time finding the perfect home to find out it isn't even on the market. And that's why you need to be working with a great realtor. I'm
glad you brought that up because I was with a buyer last night. She had sent me about 10 homes. Only 2 of them were currently active. Bless her heart, she'd been on Zillow. The
internet's so great, isn't it? Folks, it's all about having the right realtor and the right lender. And, hey, this is Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m. We appreciate the opportunity to guide you throughout your day and hopefully provide that entertainment, that education, so that you can make that next home dream a reality. I'm Ben Phillips. I'm with HomeRate Mortgage. We're a local mortgage company started right here in Chattanooga, and we help the Chattanooga area and beyond get pre-approved and close on time. We're fast rates, quick closings, and guaranteed great service. So it's the HomeRate Mortgage Guarantee. You can check out our reviews online. We have a 4.8 rating with Google, and that says a lot about what we do. We put our passion, like Sabrena said, it's all about passion. And also, Sabrena Realty.
Call us. We'd love to help you find that home, help you sell a home. You can call us at 423-499-7780. That's 499-7780. We are licensed in Tennessee and Georgia.
That's right.
So we can work anything from Cleveland all the way to Dalton. We'd love to help you in any area. And also, we don't have any administrative fees. No hidden fees. We offer competitive commission rates. No hidden fees. If we don't sell your home, we don't get paid. If we don't find you that home, we don't get paid.
Amen for that. And there's no cost or obligation for either one of us. So we really appreciate the opportunity to serve you and serve our community. We are the Sabrena and Ben Home Show.
That's right.
And we are excited.
Join us every Tuesday here on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio from 11 to noon. We'll give you all kinds of great information, take you into the lunch hour every Tuesday, 11 to noon, AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio, the Sabrena and Ben
Go
Hour.
Cubs.
See you next Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in today.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting on